It's Dr. Knight here, and I am so excited that you have decided to join us on this platform, the Legacy Healing and Wellness Nonprofit Corporation. We are embarking upon an amazing journey called Everyday Conversations with yours truly. These conversations, as I shared in our promotional video, are a variety of topics that impact women in your lives, the families that you are a part of, and potentially the veterans in your life. This first series that we're starting today and Everyday Conversations is about the 7 types of domestic violence. You might be wondering, if you followed my journey at all, you're not wondering why I'm talking about this. But for those of you who may be new to my story, to my husband's story, to our family stories, and to many of the stories that you've heard on various platforms that I've been on, domestic violence is a problem for our nation. It is a problem for the world. And recent studies say that women between the ages of 18 and 24, females between the ages of 18 and 24, are more likely to experience physical and psychological forms of domestic violence. Any exposure to childhood trauma and abuse can also increase a woman's risk for experiencing relationships that have violence. As we go through this series, I'm going to be providing you with information and resources, research, documented, founded information from various websites from all around the world to help us understand how this issue of domestic violence is plaguing the lives of so many people and keeping us bound and keeping us from reaching the opportunities and the life, achieving the success in life that we desire so much for our personal success and for our families. I want to provide you with a definition that I personally have embraced of what domestic violence is. I believe that it is any traumatic disturbance within the home that causes harm to and or negatively impacts an individual or individuals within the family unit. It's the negative behaviors or actions of someone within the home that create an unsafe environment for everyone within the family. You might say, Dr. Knight, that is a broad and bold definition. I want it to be. I want you to understand that when people are experiencing this type of violence and this type of discomfort, this type of life altering and potentially life taking experiences, it should not be taken lightly. If you haven't been slapped, hit, cussed at, or spit on, or any of the things that we might talk about in this course, in this safe space together, I want you to be mindful not to judge those people, those women or those men who have experienced that. I want this to be a learning opportunity. I want us to be able to recognize the signs within our own home. I want us to recognize the signs and know who to report to, what needs to be said based on what you have witnessed to the proper authorities. We want to provide you with open space for conversation around your own experiences. A lot of times people will ask, well, Dr. Knight, how did you get so comfortable with sharing that you were hit or you were spit on or that you were once homeless with your sons or any of those traumatic experiences? It is because I experienced the healing that can only come from addressing those issues in my life, being honest with myself for where I was, and then rebuilding with focus, with intentionality, creating a community of people that I can trust and that trust me, that I can trust with my children, that I could trust with my children, and that I still trust to this day to help me realize the truth of who I am, to speak life into myself, and then to speak life into others. That is the purpose of this platform. That is the purpose of this conversation. Over the next few weeks, we're going to explore the 7 types of domestic violence, the common types of domestic violence. And let me tell you, I have experienced each and every one of these. And it is my desire to explore them again with each of you so that you understand what it looks like, the language of what it sounds like, and the resources that you can use to help pull yourself out of this type of devastation. Number 1 is mental abuse. Number 2 is emotional abuse. Now, there is some overlap between mental and emotional abuse, and we'll explore each of them and they're in their own realm, but just know that there's crossover for each one of these. The third is verbal abuse. The fourth, physical abuse. The fifth, sexual abuse. The sixth is financial abuse. And finally, spiritual abuse. I want us to have a better understanding of what is happening within our communities and hopefully to help you overcome if this is going on in your own home or you know someone else who is being impacted by it. The other reason why I thought it would be important to share these resources and share this information and share these stories with you is because now that I'm no longer in an abusive home, in an abusive relationship, I realize that there is still some residual conversation that is impacting even my life today. Meaning, I have a daughter. You all know Princess Caitlin. She is 10 years old. And I was recently speaking at a domestic violence event in a conference in LA. And I remember distinctly as we were preparing to go home and shake off the day. It was an emotional day, highly emotional day, but a very successful day. We got to meet some women who were in a battered women's home. We got to fellowship and have a beautiful breakfast at this conference. And on the way home, Caitlin started asking more questions about my domestic violence experience, and she was listening. She was listening so intently. She was able to capture some of the words that I said, repeat them back to me, and go, "Now, Mama, what did you mean by this?" Or, "Mama, where was I when this happened?" Or, "Mama, was it Daddy that did this, that, or the other?" And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, we don't live in an environment like that right now. So let me explain that no, I did not stay with my offenders. And your dad is not abusive. And your dad is not the person who did X, Y, and Z. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to embark upon a conversation and to engage in a conversation age appropriately to help even younger children as you journey through this. If you see that it's fit and the conversation is appropriate, to start engaging in what conversation looks like around the signs of an abused child or an abused adult, and some of the words, some of the things that we may see, and have these conversations as early as possible. We are a family that does not teach that if a boy hits you, he likes you. We don't do that. We just simply don't do that. We're not going to equate hitting with love. We're not going to equate verbal abuse or body shaming to love. We're not going to do that. So there may be some things that as we explore these various topics, as you hear my voice around my experience, as you hear how I'm engaging with my children who have experienced domestic violence versus the one who has not. As you all know, we have a blended family of 7 children, and all 6 of the older children experienced some form or witnessed some form of domestic violence in the home. The cycle stopped with us. When we came together, my husband and I came together, we said the cycle stops with us. We do not teach that it is okay to hit and then say, oh, but it's because you did that. That's why I did that. I'm yelling at you because you made me angry. I'm mad at you because you didn't cook dinner right. You didn't show up on time. That's not the outfit that I wanted you to wear. That's not the makeup that I want you to wear. That's not the hairstyle that I like. No matter how simple these conversations may sound out of context, in context, we understand that there's a greater thing at play. So I want you to join me on this series. Be engaged. Please comment. Please share. Please subscribe to the channel. This is not going to be the only conversation that we have. It's where we're starting because it's what is relevant for this time in this season. So thank you so much for being a part of my healing journey. To my Queen Tribe, to my community, we're going to talk about how to create community. We're going to talk about the total impact to the family, but it begins with us using our voice for good. It begins with us acknowledging the pain and the hurt that we have experienced and how we are healing to overcome, to repair our legacy, to repair our future generation, and to prepare to live the life that you were designed to live, free of abuse and free to love. Thank you. We'll see you soon.